Coming to you from Milwaukee, Wisconsin by way of Stone Mountain, Georgia. Birthed by the great state of South Carolina is the Bryant Land Country Podcast. Your place for any and everything in hunting, fishing, sports, and outdoor related, with heavy doses of randomness, guests, and an all-around good time. Here's your host, proud Gamecock, South Carolina forever, AB3.
All right, everybody, welcome to the Bryant Land Country Podcast. I am sitting here in Orlando, Florida at the Podcast Movement Convention as I'm recording the intro to this podcast. The Podcast Movement Convention is something that I was looking at coming to for a few months now, or looking forward to coming to for a few months now. It's a great networking event. It's an event where you meet like a lot of people to learn how to grow your podcast and different tricks of the trade, how to make your podcast better, and just networking, talking to people. And so far, as of this recording, it's the end of day one, and there's really not a lot of hunting, fishing, podcasters down here. As of right now, I am the only one. I haven't met anybody else who is doing a hunting, fishing podcast down here at the Podcast Movement. But what I have met is a few people that like to get out and fish, a couple that do a little bit of hunting, and I'm actually working on getting two guests before I leave the convention. Convention wraps up on Friday. I'm working on getting two guests to come on the show and record a podcast with me. I bring my podcast equipment with me everywhere I go, my little travel audio kit. So I have it. That's how I'm always able to record, openings and interviews and stuff when I travel, when I'm on the road. No different coming to this convention. I mean, it would be quite foolish to come to a convention of podcasters and not have equipment to record a podcast. So hopefully before I leave from down here on Friday, I'll be able to record a couple of podcasts, a couple of guests for you guys down the road. Like I said, the people that I've met so far have just been amazing, and I'm looking forward to grabbing more knowledge, grabbing more 411 and info so I can turn out better podcasts for you guys. Moving on to the guest this week, I'm bringing back an oldie but a goodie. Antonio Marsh, Hunting with the Marshes, if you remember, was one of the episodes that I put out early on. We had a great time. We had Antonio on. We had his wife on. They were just talking about, getting started hunting and the success that they had. Well, me and Antonio went on a hog hunt about a week or so ago, a couple weeks ago now by the time this podcast drops. So we talk a little bit about that. I talk about his preparation for deer season in South Carolina. By the time this drops, deer season in South Carolina, at least the bow part of it, will be kicked off. So, one of the good things that I've enjoyed about doing this podcast and has allowed me to meet and interact with different people. And, Antonio's a good guy. He's a good dude. And so that's why we kind of just gelled. Like I said, we talk a lot about hunting and stuff like that, and have several conversations where we just get on the phone and just be shooting the breeze. So we decided to do that on a podcast. I asked him very last minute, it's like, hey man, can you save my ass? I need a podcast. He said, sure, no problem. So that is the genesis of this conversation. Like I said, with Antonio Marsh. So as per usual, you guys know how this goes. I'm going to fall back. You guys kick back and listen to my conversation with Antonio Marsh on the Bryant Land Country Podcast. Antonio, thank you for saving my ass, basically. I needed to get a podcast recorded for a couple weeks coming up down the road, trying to get ahead of things. And this was the only day this week that I could actually sit down and have a conversation and make a record. So I really appreciate you coming through and saving my behind.
Hey, no problem, man. Adam Bryant III. I feel like I'm with royalty.
Man, whatever, man. So let's smarten the people up a little bit. So, because I go through Columbia and going home. So, and then obviously, over time we found out we got some mutual friends. So we hung out a little bit going to Columbia, and then we were supposed to get together for a hog hunt. I had a family emergency, so I couldn't do it. And then so we were hanging out a little bit on last week, and you got some really what's the word I'm looking for? Finicky hogs down there in that swamp, because we had them nailed. Well, I shouldn't say we. You had them nailed down, patterned. They come in every day except for the damn day we were out there. What's up with that? Have you figured out what did we do wrong?
Man, the swamp hogs are high maintenance, man. Let me tell you. It was like, they come in your feeder and it's not apple corn, then they go to somebody else's feeder. Oh, he's got the good stuff over here. But that hunt, man, I'm telling you, that hunt really confused me. And one thing I'll tell you, that hunt brought me back to reality, because, like you said, we had these bad boys patterned down every day to within a 15-minute period. And just the confidence. I mean, I was so confident. I called the processor and said, "Hey, what time do you open?" With a hog.
see, yeah, and see that could be probably where we went wrong at, because most processors, they gonna be there regardless, but you done called and done had the order put in and had everything divvied up and stuff, man. That's probably what it was.
Yeah, consistently, and and after we got done, I thought about it. I said, what did we do wrong? Did we get winded? Scent control? Should we have run the thermocell? But I said, you know what? We're not doing anything different than I've done on any other hunt out there. So it bothered me for a couple of days. I said, well, maybe we didn't follow our hunting protocol process, whatever. But then I started watching. They didn't show up that next day. But no, I'm sorry.
Yeah, they did.
Show up that next
they
day.
did. They showed up the next morning around the time that we thought they was going to show up the other morning.
Right. I said, you kidding me? So I said, okay, it must have been something we did. So this past week, Tuesday, I was going to go out and hunt. And I said, you know what? Because I was so frustrated, I said, I'm popping one of these hogs off that plot just for making us get up so early. Sitting out there for nothing. So I got home. I waited on my key guy to come. He had to work on the lock for me. So we went outside. We were waiting. I told him, I said, hey, man, I said, I'm about to go out here and get one of these hogs. But the longer I stood in that driveway and the hotter it got, I said, you must be crazy. I am not going out there and sweat my behind off in that stand trying to get this hog.
About what time was that? Did you made the decision not to?
This was about 4:30.
Oh, in the afternoon? Okay.
So the sun was good enough.
Yeah.
So I decided, I said, you know what? I said, it's insanity, man. Don't go sit out there. I said, you're going to burn up. So I watched my camera at work that night, and I got no images, nothing. So I said, well, maybe something was in the cards for me not to go.
Right.
So it dawned on me, I said, now, if you would have went, the hogs wouldn't have shown up. Now you'd have been guessing yourself again, what did I do wrong? So there's, just so being, I didn't go, the hogs didn't show up. So the more I thought about it, I said, you know what, there is nothing that me and Adam did wrong that day. It just let me understand that hunting is not guaranteed.
It's not. It's not. I mean, there are places you can go where it's guaranteed, and I don't frown upon anyone that has done that. I mean, hell, I've done it a couple times when I first started. Build your confidence up, just kind of make sure you know what you're doing. But yeah, once you take the training wheels off, there are no guarantees at all whatsoever.
Yeah, I mean, look at the information we had. It was telling us it's in the cards. It's going to happen.
Right.
And we go out there and nothing. So that brought me back to reality, saying, you know what? It's like you've been so successful these last 2 years that you went out saying, okay, hogs coming this day, this day, this day. All right, let's pick this day. We'll get it. And that's what was happening. And then this time, it didn't happen.
Right.
So now it kind of humbled me back down a little bit to say, okay, just remember, this is hunting, man. They going out here, field full of hogs. Okay, let me get that one.
Right. You're not pulling them, fattening them up and pulling them out of a pen.
Right.
And
No.
no, not at all. And I don't know. And this is a theory of mine, and I don't know how true it is, or because everybody has different theories, and everybody has different luck or whatever. But I also feel like anytime you go on a hunt, especially like bow hunting, like hogs, turkeys, deer or whatever. Maybe, I mean, it might even go across the board, but definitely with those, I feel like if you don't commit at least two sets, or two sits rather,
Yes.
like either back-to-back mornings or morning and a day or back-to-back days, whatever it is, or even, like during deer season, sometimes all day sits. I feel like if you don't put more than two together, sometimes it just don't work out. Because I've been where it's like, you go the first day, nothing happens. The second day, usually something pops off. I don't know. Like I said, it just could be me, but I just feel like, like if we would have been able to, schedule would have been allowed, to commit, to another morning, then maybe, our chances would have went up. But you never know. Like I said, it's just a theory.
No, and I agree with that because the hogs we had gotten, when we did not get one on the first day, there was almost a 99.9% chance we would get one on the second day. And when we've gone on a second sit, we have always pulled a hog out of there. We hunted 2 days consecutively.
Yeah.
So I agree with you, man.
Yeah, because it was even like that with my deer last year down in Georgia. Like, I had been, messing around, and I'd go, for like a day, or I'll go like for a morning sit, or go like for afternoon sit. But when I finally strung together, consecutive days, like after the first day, you're just kind of out there, whatever, nothing happens. But the second day and that second morning, I bumped some coming in, and I was like, all right, well, I've pretty much blown this. And I bumped them going in at like 5:30 in the morning. By 9 o'clock, they circle back around. Here they come. And then, boom, you lay the smack down on them. So, yeah, like I said, I think if you can't string together, a couple of days, it definitely adds to your success. So, and like I also told you, I'm also a firm believer that if you look up Murphy's Law in the book, if anything can go wrong, it will, or if anything is going to happen, or if anything can happen, it will happen, especially negatively. I feel like if you look up Murphy's Law in the book, my face is right beside it, because it's banana, but
Yeah, and my face is probably right next to yours. I'm telling you. But you know what? Another thing to add on that, I firmly believe I don't think it was sit control, because when I was sitting there and I was looking down that plot and I just saw this big brown spot sitting in the middle, I was like, what is that? So, of course, I got that camera you gave me, the one that you just threw to me and said, hey, I need you to record, turn this on, flip that switch.
Hey, man.
That's how you record.
Hey, man, you in the Army. You an Army dude. Y'all know how to adapt.
I was like, okay. I said, if you could have gave me a class or something on this camera, but
Nah,
you don't
need no class. Nah, you in the Army. I am confident in your ability to use technical equipment.
So after I finally got it jimmy rig after 30 minutes in there to get it to hang up on the strap I had, I turned it on. And I looked down that plot through your camera, and I said, that's a big doe sitting right here in the middle of the plot. I said, so it ain't our scent control, because if that's the case, that doe would not be sitting in here right now.
Yeah, and then also, too, I remember you were saying, like, the blind, because of where we were at, you had kind of was limited on where you could place the blind. And I remember you saying that it was near a travel corridor. So,
yeah,
like, there were a couple of times I'm sitting there, and I am almost 200% positive there was a deer that bumped into the blind while they were crossing or coming behind me or whatever the case was. And that could have been part of the problem too, because they out there at 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning blowing and snorting, I mean, that could have, I don't know, that could have been a giveaway as well. But yeah, I'm with you. Like, scent wise, I think we did everything right. I definitely don't think they spotted us because hogs are blind as hell. Um, but yeah, I don't know when those, like I said, I had a couple of does that were behind me and they start snorting and blowing. I mean, they're gonna, especially a nice size doe. They're pretty much going to alert everything in the woods. That's why it was a video that I saw, and I meant to send it to you. I thought I sent it to you already, but I know I didn't. Of a guy that had a video, and he was just like, anytime that he's out, deer hunting, and a doe comes along, and she starts snorting and whatnot, and snorting and blowing. He's like, he almost feels like he needs to take her out on principle because she's messing it up for everything else because now she's putting everybody on alert. It's just like, move along. There's nothing to see here, or otherwise you could take this broadhead through the lawn. So I might start employing that logic coming up this fall.
Okay.
So,
well, I can tell you this. The hogs been back the last 2 mornings, so they're back in the area. And I tell you what, if they mess around here and Saturday, and I make it out there, one of them gonna have a bad morning. That's all I'm gonna say.
Are you gonna take the rifle, or are you gonna sit in the bow setup?
I'm thinking about the rifle because I don't feel like I said, that brush out there. I just do not feel like crawling through that stuff, man. If I can get a good shot, I don't have to worry about that. But my thing is, I'm taking the rifle, get him down, get to the processor so I can get these snack sticks made, man.
I was just talking about the jalapeno cheddar snack sticks because I had never heard of pork snack sticks. Like, I've always got them done from deer. And they were good. I enjoyed them. I think I got too many made at one point. But I enjoyed them. But yeah, the pork snack stick that you turned me on to, I was just like, all right, this ain't too shabby. So that might be another option, when we finally get successful. The thing about snack sticks though, and I said this on another podcast, and I'm curious to see like if I get any pushback from it because I thought it was funny. You go into any grocery store or any, gas station and you get beef jerky or whatever. And I mean, honestly, let's be real. You don't know how long that beef jerky has been there, but it's because it's processed, it's processed to last. Man, you take out a pack of snack sticks out of the freezer and you leave those things out and you don't tend to them within a few days or a week or so, your snack sticks aren't going to be any good.
No. And I had to tell a lady that. I gave her some, I gave about 4 or 5, man. And about a week later, I went by, I asked her, I said, hey, did you try the snack sticks? She was like, no, they're still sitting on the counter. I said, give you a piece of advice. This ain't the regular stuff you're buying out of the store with all those preservatives and additives in there. You eat those snack sticks, you're going to the hospital. I said, I'm just letting you know right now.
Guaranteed. And they probably had stuff growing on them.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't know. I was like, that's 5 snack sticks. I said, that is a waste. I was so upset. I said, you don't waste good snack sticks like that.
So, do you dip them in anything, or you just have them at your desk and just just munching on them or whatever? Like, do you have like a little refrigerator in your office? Like, what's your setup with your snack sticks?
Man, look, I get one out of the freezer. I put them in a lunch bag. 9 o'clock break, maybe lunch. I mow that thing down. Maybe get me a cheese stick with it. Man, it's like snack stick heaven in here. Those things are delicious, man.
They are good. They are good. Like I said, I had some jerky made from a deer that I shot, and I had some snack sticks made, and they are delicious. You just gotta. I ended up giving a lot of it away because, like I said, I had no idea. When you fill out your order form, I mean, unless you just like a pro and you've been doing it for a while, or if you one of those hardcore folks that do everything themselves, you really don't know. Like when you fill out your order form, you got an idea what's gonna come back, But then it's like, the first time I did it, and then all the stuff came back, I was just like, holy shit. Like, this is a lot of meat.
A lot of meat. Because that one I did, I think I got 26 or 27 packs back. And that hog was like maybe 100 pounds.
Yeah. Yeah. And I also think, too, it also depends on your processor. You get a good butcher, good processor that can, kind of finagle some stuff for you in their packing and how they cutting it up. They make more out of it than some people. I think it's just like anything else. Some people are better at it than others or whatever.
Yeah, and that's something I want to be one day. I want to be able to process my own meat, but I just don't have the capabilities in the area to do it. Plus I don't have the time and really the patience right now.
Right, and that's what it comes down to. It like you said, to have a place where you can do it right, number one, and to have like the equipment and stuff, to do it right, and then number two, just to be able to take the time. Like I'll do my ducks and my geese, like I've done them right in the. God dang it! Like every time I do one of these on the phone, I think I turn on the sound and stuff off, and then I'll have somebody call in, so it'll be all over the podcast. So apologize for that. I know some people, they don't like their listening experience on the podcast interrupted by background noises, but I mean, hey, this is real life. I don't know what to tell you, but anyway, what was I saying? Oh, so yeah, being able to have the time to process that stuff and having the right tools to be able to do it is, that plays a big part of it. Like I said, I'll do my ducks and I'll do my geese a lot of times, especially if I'm at home. I'll just do it right there on the back of my truck. Up in Milwaukee, I would do it. Excuse me, if I didn't do it, right there where I was hunting at, then I'd do it, lay out a bunch of newspaper and stuff and just do it right there in the kitchen, cut them up. And then go from there. The only thing about that is I have to be careful because I have feathers all over the damn place. But birds are pretty easy to do. But when you start talking about whole deer and hogs and stuff, you need the space and the proper equipment. But I mean, the other good thing about that too, it gives us something to look forward to, something else to add on to.
Okay.
It'll give you something else, to learn how to do, and I'm pretty sure there'll be great joy in it. I am actually looking forward to being able to possibly skin a deer in my front yard, like in my garage or whatever. But by the time I'm finished, it'll be so far back in the woods that nobody. I personally would love to come and see you skin a deer in your garage in the suburbia that you are in.
Yeah, I tell you that. For one, Mrs. Marsh probably not going to. She's not going to go with that.
You got to put your foot down, man. Put your foot down.
Yeah. Now remember, this is the same woman when I got that first deer. And I bought that deer from the processor. And when I bought it home, you don't realize how much meat you're going to get off of some of these animals.
Right.
So we're in here trying to rearrange the chest, trying to move, lean cuisine meals around, move ice cream, and trying to get, venison ground and cube steak in there. And we packed it in. So we were standing there, and she was just looking at me. She said, "You got another deer in the processor, right?" I said, "Yes." "It'll probably be here in a couple of days, right?" I said, "Yes." She said, "You need to have another freezer in this house before that deer gets here. That's all I'm telling you." So I ran around Home Depot, Lowe's, everywhere. Fortunately, I got that freezer like maybe 2 days before they called and said, "Hey, your deer is ready." And they said, "If you come pick it up by like Monday or Tuesday, we'll give you another 10% off." I was like, sweet, because you can't beat that.
Right.
So I go get this deer. I come back home. We load that up right up. I was like, woo. I said, "Man, it's a good idea we got this freezer." And she just looked at me like, "Man, whatever."
See, that's what I went to Walmart. It was a deep freezer in Walmart. It's like $97, and it's been running strong for the last couple of years. But yeah, and I don't know about you. Like you were saying, the the lean souffle meals, or whatever those, like the meals and the ice cream.
Mm-hmm.
I hate opening my deep freezer and my kids have, pizza and French fries and other shit in my deep freezer. This is for my game meat. This is the only thing supposed to be in here are deer, hog, ducks, and turkeys. And not damn, Breyer's ice cream and all this other stuff that they have. Put that crap in the freezer above the refrigerator. Leave my deep freezer alone, man. I need that space.
Yeah, I'll tell you. Yeah, I got the lean cuisine meal, and then I got ground venison sitting right next to it.
Man,
that don't even look cool, man.
Throw the lean cuisine meal. You don't need the lean cuisine meal no more. You got the lean meat right there. You got all the lean meat that you need right there.
I tell you what, though. I tell you what was kind of another thing I think about that hunt, man. When I was checking out my plot and how my seed and everything was growing, I was like, man, my seed. I said, this is impressive. It's coming up good. I was just all excited about it. And then yesterday, I went in and they told yesterday I looked at the picture. I said, okay, hogs are back, plots are looking good. I got another image the next morning, and I'm looking like, where is my plot at? So where my camera is on the feeder, the deer have come in and they have mowed that thing down, man.
And I mean, not even like just like nipped it. Like, I mean, it is gone. Like, it is literally a picture of here today, gone tomorrow. Like, I don't know what happened, because at first when you showed me that picture, I was thinking, well, maybe those hogs got in and rooted up that stuff, because that was I know that's something that you always got to be concerned about when you're doing food plots and stuff. They get in there, root it up, and tear everything up, or either get in there and start munching on the stuff themselves. But like you said, those hogs that you got, the only thing they want is that apple flavored corn. So. Yeah. And I mean, the ground, it was so smooth. It was almost like somebody went in there and just picked up every single plant. I mean, like, when I say clean, like, there's literally only dirt left in that picture that you showed me. That's amazing.
That was amazing. So the crazy thing is, I can only see what's coming up on the image of the camera. So wife and I, we're going to ride out there Saturday and take a look. And if I get a chance, I'm going to take the picture. I'm going to see how the rest of it looks and see how far down that plot. Because you figure that's 160 yards worth of plot, man, that he had planted that Wanamaker seed out there. And that seed came up quick, and it came in just that quick and just took everything down. So I'll know on Saturday what it looks like, and I'll let you know.
Now, is she gonna hunt with you Saturday? Y'all gonna sit together?
Yeah, man, I don't know. I think we're supposed to go look at the house on Saturday.
See, she can go look at the house. You go kill the hog.
In a good world.
I mean, come on, man. Come on. I mean, we talking about hogs. We talking about nice, decent size boar hogs. Okay, we got you got a swine problem. You got a swine flu problem. You need to go and take out the swine flu. You got a swine flu problem. House can wait. You got a house. You got a nice house. Let her go and handle that. Because didn't you tell me, like, she was supposed to go one Saturday and y'all ended up going to like a baby shower, a bridal shower, or something. She was supposed to go. She was gonna go hunt, but then she went, and did whatever.
Yeah, I know. I was there too. I was at the baby shower, lighting off the. Everybody does these gender reveals now.
Yeah.
So I'm out there lighting off pink smoke bombs instead of sitting in the stand hunting. Come on, man.
People getting creative with these gender reveals too. I seen one where they had two balloons and they shot a bow at it and to make the reveal or whatever. So yeah. So, but I'm out of that business. I'm out of the baby making game. I'm done. I got a teenager and a preteen, so yeah, I'm done with that. But yeah. getting back to Saturday, let's get back to what's important. The swine flu.
Important.
You got swine flu out there. You need to go handle that. The house ain't going nowhere. The swine flu, you got to take care of that. That's all I'm saying. I mean, you're a grown man. You do what you want. You know, I'm also a single person, so take my advice with a grain of salt.
Yeah. Maybe I can get her out there to go pop it, man. But we'll see how that works out. I'm gonna bring it to her attention.
Yeah, that's what. Sometimes you gotta, women, I don't know.
Hey, be careful. Women listen to this podcast.
I know, and I appreciate it. I love my women hunters, and I love my women listeners. Even if they don't hunt, they just like the podcast. And one of these days, I'm gonna do a complete podcast on relationships based from the eye of a person that hunts. I'm gonna do that one day. But all I'm saying is, sometimes you don't have to be gentle. You just got to kind of like lay it down and just be like, look, now, this is what we got going on. This here is a priority. And then, govern yourself accordingly. That's all I'm saying.
I got a prime candidate for you, because she still wants to talk to you. She said, I need to talk to Adam about women and his issue with these damn wedges.
I mean, I don't know what there is to say. So the clue everybody else in, I personally despise wedge heels. I think they are the absolute ugliest type of shoe that a woman can wear. If you're gonna wear heels, wear stilettos. I look at wedge heels as like training wheels. They're like training wheel heels. They're ugly. There's no redeeming quality. I mean, even if you put on a pair of cowboy boots, like I've seen women in cowboy boots, and and that looks good. That's attractive. Stilettos. I mean, even some flats, are fine. But the wedge heels, they gotta go. You gotta do better. And it's funny because anybody that I've ever brought this up to, like if I'm talking to other guys that may not even pay attention to that kind of thing, and I bring it up, they'll come back to me later and they'll be like, oh my God, you were right. And even, chicks, like after I start, talking to them or whatever and just kind of laying it out, they're like, yeah, I don't look at them the same way. Now it's like, cuz you know it in your soul. They are ugly.
Hey, but you know what? When I was telling her, I said, you know what? I said, Adam might be right about these stilettos. She said, well, I tell you what. She said, you and Adam can go wear stilettos for 5 hours, and you tell me how your feet feel.
Hey, man, you got to play. Hey, that ain't on us. That's on them. I mean, all the time, y'all, they say that, there's a price, for beauty. That's what other women tell each other. From a young age, that's what the older women tell the younger ones. There's a price for beauty. So, like Ric Flair used to say, you got to pay the price. So that's the only thing I can say about that. Now, let me ask you this. So has the plants, have they started coming back up? Like, has it been raining in Columbia? Like, are you seeing any promise of them coming back up, or are you not gonna know until you actually get out there?
Yeah, I won't know until I get out there. We literally getting no rain, and the rain we have gotten is like it's just in areas and spots around Columbia. So it can be raining here where I live at, but there's nothing going on down at the plot. Because I'll do a real time image. Say, okay, we're getting rain. I'll get there, it'll be dry as all outside, man.
Yeah, I get that. I get that in Georgia too. Like, it'll rain at the house in Stone Mountain. It'll be a damn monsoon, and then I'll look down in Warrenton where my place is, and it'll be bone dry. Like, hell, I can ride around Stone Mountain, and one side of Stone Mountain it'll be a monsoon, and then literally as soon as you cross the red light, the other side is dry. Like, the cloud hadn't moved. Like, it is stationary on one area. It's funny how that works, but yeah, the good thing about those seeds though, like, they're supposed to be heat tolerant, drought tolerant, and be able to function without getting a lot of rain. So I mean that's a good thing about that. But obviously you want to get some rain in there to energize that growth. I mean, hell, maybe one day we'll be able to pool our money together and we'll get a irrigation system. We'll have a big old food plot and then we'll be able to irrigate that some bitch.
Yeah. Hey, well, I'll see you on Saturday, man, because we bowl season starts next Thursday, man.
The great state of South Carolina.
August 15th. Bowl starts.
Are you going?
It depends on the weather, man. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Man, go on out there.
Just something about out there, sweating your butt off in the morning and it's 90 degrees. I don't know.
I mean, I'm telling you, take the morning sit. I was reading something the other day where they were saying, like, in the South, a lot of hunters like to wait till the evening to hunt, like in the early months, like in early September and stuff, because in Georgia we start, I think, around like the 14th or something like that of September. So we're almost like a month behind South Carolina. If memory serves me correctly, I think South Carolina is the first season to open across the country, the longest season, because, I mean, it's straight. It's not even periods. It starts, August 15th, and then it don't shut down until January 1.
Yeah.
But I was reading something, they were like, a lot of hunters go in the evening for that evening sit, because they try to catch the deer feeding, on the way back to bed or whatever. But some of the most productive hunts are in the mornings. If you get up there, I guess I almost take like a hog mentality to it and try to catch them, while it's cool and they're on their feet. The morning sits can prove to be successful as well. As a matter of fact, my doe that I killed last year was a morning sit in September. So I'm just saying, man, you get out there a little bit early, to get settled, and then, I mean, go for it. I mean, and then the thing too, it's bow season that starts on the 15th. I think gun season doesn't start to September 1st or something like that.
September 1st.
Yeah. So go on out there with the bow when you ain't got to worry about the Orange Army.
Yeah, I might, because you know what? That one buck I sent you, that's the first time I've ever seen a buck with a rack that big on my plot this early in the year.
Yeah. So that means he's close. If that plot can sustain, that means he's probably close by. He's been close by.
Yeah, well, see, here's the problem I have, because I got that primary one where my stand is, okay? Got my primary two where the blind is. I basically told my wife she can have the primary one.
Okay.
Where the stand is. Because she's not sitting on the ground. She'll tell you right now. I don't sit on the ground. I need to be elevated so I can see what's coming. So now, if I get all these bucks coming in and I start looking like, hey, man, wait a minute, I want to get that one. She'll be like, no, that's my stand. So now I'm about to try to get permission to use my own stand.
See, again, put your foot down. That's all I'm saying. Put your foot down. It's your lease and her privilege. That's how you got to tell it to her. Make sure you tell it just like that too now, and let me know how.
I'm making a note of that right now. Don't listen to
I'm just saying.
But the thing is, she set on getting one with a bow this year, man.
Okay.
So the thing is, I don't perceive myself doing a lot of hunting this year, because she's got her mind made up, and I'll be more spotter in the blind with her, make sure everything's going. They say status quo. So I don't know how this is going to work out, man, because she ain't sitting on the blind by herself. That ain't going to happen.
Right.
So I'll be in there with her.
Right. Trying to help her out and make sure everything goes the way it's supposed to go. I mean, and that's great. I mean, all jokes aside, I mean, honestly, the tag team and be able to, to spend that time together, I mean, it's priceless.
Mm-hmm. So it's gonna be an interesting season, man. Because South Carolina, they changed up a lot of stuff this year.
The scent or the deer scents, right? What is it? You can't use any if you use any kind of deer urine, it has to be from a deer that you killed in South Carolina or something like that.
Yeah. Basically, the only thing they're telling you is synthetic products.
Ah, okay.
You can use that to attract a lure deer. So supposedly there's a list coming out telling you what you can buy, what you can't. Waiting on the guy. He's actually sent it to me because he said he saw it. But basically, they're concerned about the chronic waste disease.
Right.
Supposedly they find out it's coming from, some of those attractants and lures that they put out here on the market. So, I understand, whatever's best for, the state, in the hunting program,
right.
Whatever DNR feels is best, that's what we got to go with, man. So,
yeah,
we'll see.
Yeah, I'd like to see more, the research and study. But the thing about research and study, it's just like numbers. You can find anything that you research and you find, you can always find a study or number or whatever to combat that. So that's why, it kind of puts you in a peculiar spot. But like you said, if that's, what they laid down, then that's what you got to go with. The thing that I always wonder about, and I kind of would like to see, is if the stuff is illegal, then get it off the shelves. Like, why even, have it like on the shelf? Like, I mean, I've been in states where they have all kind of like attractants, and stuff like that. And, on those bottles, to the manufacturer's credit, they always say, check, local game laws or local, regulations and stuff like that. But I mean, if it's illegal, why is it even on the shelf? Like, if it's illegal in that state, why is it even on the shelf? I mean, that to me, I think that's the next step. I mean, you got to get that stuff off. And I'm pretty sure there's, obviously there's money involved, and, people are going to do what they want to do. And, the stores don't want to miss out on any sales and stuff. But I don't know. But I'm with you. It's going to make it interesting this season down there, just to see how they go about with that too.
Yeah, it's crazy. In the DNR read what you just said verbatim. It basically said, just because it's on the shelf doesn't mean it's legal for you to possess it.
Right.
So if you get caught, then you will be at the discretion of the DNR officer that stops you.
Right. It's totally on you. You can't say like, well, they sold it to me. I mean, it's completely, on you. So.
Yeah, I tell you, I can't wait though, man. I'm starting to get a little excited. I'm not as excited as I was the last couple of years because, like I said, the press was on me, so I was really eager to get out there and hunt.
Yeah,
see what was going to happen. But this year, and I think because we had so much success last year, and I got so much meat in the freezer, it was like I've really been kind of like, hey, whatever.
Right.
If it gets here, it gets here. I'm ready to go, but not like I was before. So it's a difference when you actually go out there and you're productive and you get results. Now you got meat in the freezer, and this may sound crazy. One reason why I really wasn't pressed to get those hogs, because if I drop one, I have nowhere to put the meat.
Right. Right.
That's my stuff again.
And that's
like for a hunter.
That's a good problem, and that is an excellent problem to have, by the way.
Yeah, I was like, I never thought I would be in a scenario where I really don't want to hunt because I got too much meat in 2 freezers,
Right. What I would like to see more of along that line is more of these shelters. I know they have different programs where you can, like donate meat, or they, like they have like these, fundraisers like game dinners and stuff to help like, homeless and elderly and those in need. But I would like to see you be able to, once you process your meat, and even if it's, a situation where, they can only accept meat from like a licensed processor or whatever, I mean, that's fine. I mean, I think in general, you should just be able to donate it like to these shelters and stuff. And, that way it doesn't go to waste, or you can help somebody out, in need. I mean, I know obviously as hunters, we, have people that are family and friends and stuff like that, we'll give meat to or whatever. But I'd like to be able to kill like a whole doe or a whole hog, process it, and get like all of that stuff back, and just walk to a shelter and be like, here, take it or whatever. But I think you can do it in some places, but a lot of the states, they have very strict regulations on donating like game meat and stuff like that. Just take it, frozen, take it to the place in a box, whatever. It just be like, here, feed these folks with it. So And that way you don't have to worry about it going to waste, and then you can get out there and enjoy it even more, because you're right. Once, if you got like a freezer full, you start thinking about the practicality of it, and you're like, all right, well, I'm good. My thing is I like to try to get a deer down early September, rest a little bit, and then I can start, goose season and duck season, which living in Milwaukee, being close to Illinois, it starts in October. So it's like you get your deer down in September, you're good, you get started on your waterfowl, and then once November hits, you switch back over to deer, and then that way you try to drop your buck. That's usually my goal. It's worked out in a couple years. It definitely didn't work out like that last year. So I don't know. I'm excited. I'm pumped. I still got some work I need to do, and honestly, I kind of want to try to find a place to travel to before, things heat up, because I'd like to be able to kill another deer in another state before, it really gets heated up down in Georgia. But I don't know. We'll see. But I'm excited for the season. I'm ready for it to start.
Yeah, I am, man. And I think I'm more excited to get my wife out there, get everyone with the bow. But we got to start going to the range, man. That's one thing I've been slacking on. But once this heat, calms down a little bit, lunchtime I'm going to get out there, start getting some shots in, maybe on the weekend after work, get her out, start getting some shots. And even get her zeroed in, anywhere from 25 to 30 yards, because that's probably going to be the furthest distance that we'll probably be shooting from that blind. So if I get her locked in at that 20, 25 range, I think she'll be good.
Yeah. And that's the thing that I like too, is because, man, I sent my bow off to get some strings right after turkey season, and it took because it was a custom string builder in Wisconsin, and I think it took about 6 weeks. And man, I'm sitting there like, somebody that was addicted to caffeine or like a hard drug or something, man. I hated not being able to shoot my bow, and now that I got it back, and I mean, that thing is a tack driver, and it's dialed in, like I like it and stuff. I try to shoot every day. It was just, going through different scenarios in my mind and stuff like that, because I mean, also shooting a bow for me is relaxing. So I try to shoot as much as I can, all throughout the year, but I really wanted to put a broadhead through something before deer season, just to kind of, get the rust off a little bit, so to speak. But we'll see what happens. Maybe I'll get a chance to get out again. If I don't get a chance to get back down there, maybe somewhere along the road while I'm traveling for work, I'll get a chance to get out there and lay something down. So we'll see.
Hey, next time we got to plan a 2-day hunt. 2 days. We would have been successful. Would have been the second day, would have been in there, man.
Yeah, I think that too. But man, now we got a mutual friend that when we were out had, he's kind of making the transition, or already made the transition, to not really eating meat. Not quite sure why you want to do that, but whatever. To each his own. No, I don't. Like I said, I don't begrudge anybody for, if they feel like they're making their life better. I don't begrudge them. But they did say, and I quote, "The next meat I eat, I'm going to kill myself."
Yes, he did.
And Xavier, I know you listen to my podcast. So I know you're going to hear this, and even if you are lagging behind on the episodes, I'm going to make sure to tag you when this episode comes out so you hear this. Get off your carcass, go learn how to shoot, get dialed in, and get off your butt and get in the woods, man. What have you talked to him yet? Has he, been out to the range or anything yet with you?
No. I called Xavier the other night to tell him how you put me. No, okay, let me tell you what went down. So I called him. I said, "Hey man, I ran camera for Adam the other day." He's like, "You ran camera for Adam? What are you talking about?" I said, "Yeah, man. It sounded like I knew what I was doing,
Right.
So he was like, "Okay." He said, "Yeah, I'm gonna call you back. I'm gonna call you back." Of course, it was like a week ago.
Uh-huh.
And I'm saying, like, "Okay, man, I thought you were gonna call me back," but I'm thinking I may see him today.
Okay.
And when I do, I'm going to put it on it, man. I'm like, what are you waiting on?
Yeah.
I got a range for you to shoot. You know, I'll buy you rounds. Let's do this. What are you waiting on?
Yeah, you got to.
So I'm a corner, man.
I was about to say you got to put the screws to it because and see the thing about Xavier is like he's ran camera for me, you know, for at work like doing different sporting events, and then when my first couple videos, he came out and shot for me. He was my photog and he shot for me. Like I'm always fond of his work. And X is wonderful human being. Like I mean, we've been really good friends over the years and stuff. As a matter of fact, I'm going to see him in a few weeks at a sporting event that I'm doing in Columbia in a few weeks coming up. So I'm going to see him. And matter of fact, by the time I see him then, deer season will have already started. So not rifle season, but deer season would have already started. So I'm going to lean on him a little bit too and see what's going on. But yeah, you definitely got to put the screws in him because, man, we are trying to introduce someone else to this lifestyle. And I mean, he's had an introduction somewhat because, like I said, he has shot for me on a couple hunts or whatever. So he, you know, we've got him. I got him to stick his feet in the water, but we got to get some blood. We got to get some blood on his hands. So we're trying to introduce new people to the sport. We just need them to cooperate and come on in.
Cooperate is the key word. I'm gonna put the press on it, man. I'm like, come on, what are you waiting for? I got hogs coming in I want to get rid of. You said you wanted the first meat you want to eat is going to be something that you take down. We got it right here. You know, they say on a platter. They put on a platter for you.
I mean, it basically, it is and it ain't. Because going back to our conversation at the start, you know, there's nothing guaranteed. But, I mean, there is a high percentage. And the only way that you can raise your percentage is to actually get your ass in the woods.
You say you can't kill them from the couch, man.
Right. Or the bar, from that matter.
No, yeah. We got to tell them, look, man, we got to get them early. You know, Xavier might be like, what time?
Oh no! Some of the crew calls we have, he has no problem getting up now.
Oh, we're good then. We're good. He already got his camo.
Yep.
He got somebody to run camo for him. We got a spot. We just got to get him out there.
Yep. That's all. That's all we got to do. We just got to get him out there. So, like I said, Xavier, if you're not already listening, like I said, you will be tagged so you can hear this entire portion of the podcast where we basically are calling you out to get your behind out there and go hunt something, whether it's a hog or a deer or whatever. You got to get out there. So we're putting the screws to you.
The challenge has been put forward.
Exactly. And knowing Xavier like I know him, he ain't going to back down. So just let's get to it, pal. I know you're listening, or at least like I said, I will tag you to make sure you are listening.
I can't wait, man. Let's do this. Let's get this done.
So, what's the next? So, you're going to try to go Saturday. You got any more work and stuff you got to do before the season opens, or are you pretty much set?
Oh, well, we got a work day coming up. We got a few more stands. We got to go out there and check, you know, make sure everything's looking good. Maybe trim a few more limbs and make sure everything's tightened up. But other than that, man, we're a week out. We're a week out from starting. Matter of fact, I think we may have a day after the season starts Thursday. I think we're going to go out the 17th one more time just to check some things because a lot of guys really don't get out and bow hunt too early or bow hunt, period.
Right.
But when rifle starts, oh, yeah, they're going to be out there.
Yeah, the Orange Army. I like the fact that as bow hunters, they give us time before they turn that Orange Army loose on the woods because it becomes significantly harder once the Orange Brigade gets out there.
Definitely. Yeah, like I said, you know, we'll have too much coming up. I got my man Ryan the Buddha. We got some things in the mix that we're trying to get planned coming up with a young man out of North Carolina, trying to get him on a hunt because he's never killed a hog before. And you know, this Ryan hit me out of the blue through Instagram. I was like, hey, man, you know, would you be willing? I said, for a kid? Oh, I said, heck yeah, man. Don't only mess around with some of the kids, man.
Right.
You got to keep them, you know, intrigued. Let them know that, you know, the older hunters out here, you know, are interested in what they're doing, trying to introduce them into the sport. try to get him to understand some certain things. I said, yeah, I got no problem, man. So we're still working that. And I'm hoping, man, we got to try to figure out something, man, that then redeem ourselves.
Yeah.
We got to.
Yeah, we got a redemption tour going because that is now 2 times that I have hunted in my home state, and I've came up with a big fat 0. Matter of fact, with me and Xavier, the first time we got together, he was shooting for me. I went on a hunt down in Garnet, South Carolina, and we came up short. And I'm actually thinking about going back to that place just because I want to wipe the 0 off of the board. Like I want to, one of my goals is to take a deer and a hog in South Carolina, in my home state. I mean, it's something, that's kind of, personal for me. And I've also applied for, started applying for points for gator tags in South Carolina.
Okay.
Because I know a guy that has offered to take me out if I can draw a tag, but it's not an easy process. But hopefully here in the next year or so, I think it takes about a year, maybe 2, to get enough preference points. That's my long range goal, is to drag a gator out of South Carolina. Because it's funny because you really wouldn't think about it, but like in the PD area where I grew up at, and in those swamps in the PD area, like I've seen pictures of guys that have taken some monsters out of them swamps, out of the PD River. So that's long range, but like I said, hopefully this year I'll get a chance. I'm definitely gonna go, obviously deer hunting in Georgia, but yeah, we'll definitely get together, and once you get everything situated, we'll try to scrap out a time and we can get together and do it again, because I had a good time.
Yeah, definitely. I tell you, man, I got a buddy down there. Matter of fact, I'm gonna call him out too. He's one of your buddies down in Georgia. My buddy Corey Parker. I'm trying to get him on the hunt as well. I gave him a bow, arrows, everything.
Man,
he has no excuse.
And
none.
see,
0.
I think that's why we instantly clicked, because we're kind of the same vein. It's like, look, if you say you want to do it, we'll put you in as good a position as possible. But after that, it's on you. And if you do, great. If you don't, then that's fine too, because it ain't going to stop what I'm trying to do. So it's like you got the tools. Like, we'll eliminate as many excuses as possible. But after that, man, that's on you.
Hey, so he knows. So my buddy down there in Fayetteville, Georgia, the challenge has been set. Put it together. Let's do it.
Man, y'all better get off y'all carcasses and try to do it. Shoot. Man, Antonio, I appreciate it. I know you got work to do for the United States military, a.k.a. the Army. Thank you for your service, obviously. Thank you for helping me out on this podcast. And just remind folks where they can find the Marshes.
It's the Marshes, man. We're at Hunting with the Marshes on Instagram. Come check us out. Got a few new pictures out there. Not doing too much crazy out there, but in a few days here, in a few weeks here, now that I know how to run this GoPro, I'm gonna try to make that page looking pretty good for you guys. So check us out at Hunting with the Marshes.
Awesome. Antonio, I appreciate it. I know I'll be talking to you, man.
Okay, man.
All right. Once again, thank you to Antonio Marsh for swooping down, saving my ass, providing me with a kick-ass podcast. Man, I sure appreciate him, and appreciate him being able to come down and record a podcast, or come on, I should say, and record a podcast for me. Before I jump on out of here, I got to get some sleep, because we got another long day of this podcast movement convention tomorrow, where I'm going to be out here just networking and trying to get better, trying to bring the Bryant Land Country Podcast to more people and make the Bryant Land Country Podcast better and bigger than it already is. Before I do all that, before I go get my rest, before I go out tomorrow, I just want to remind you guys, BryantLandCountry.com. Make sure you are checking out that website. It has all of our podcasts, all the archives for past podcasts. We got videos. We got the Bryant Land videos and stuff that we were doing before we started doing the podcast. the Outdoor Madness videos, the Waterfowl Warrior videos, and just other little interviews and videos that we put together. All of that is at BryantLandCountry.com. Also, make sure you pick up some Bryant Land merch. We got the podcast t-shirts. We got the Hey Turkey t-shirts. We got the Boar Assassin t-shirts. All the Bryant Land merch is right there. One-stop shopping. Watch the videos, listen to the podcast, buy merch, BryantLandCountry.com. Make sure, again, I can't stress this enough, if you're listening to us on Apple Podcasts, please subscribe, rate, and review. And most of all, thank you for your support of the Bryant Land brand. Thank you for your support of the Bryant Land Country podcast. I'm going to go and get out of here, get me some rest so I can get back, recharge my batteries, have a good time tomorrow. You guys make sure you come back next week for another episode of the Bryant Land Country podcast.
Thanks for listening to the Bryant Land Country podcast, hosted by AB3. Please leave us a positive review and 5-star rating on iTunes. Be sure to check out our podcast section on our website, BryantLandCountry.com, for previous podcasts. Check us out on Instagram at Official Bryant Land and Twitter at 3BryantLand. This has been an AB3 Media production. Join us next time for another edition of the Bryant Land Country podcast.